I'm cowardly?
Like a job, a little job.
Hold on, I'm cowardly for stepping into a crowd of people that hate me.
Most people really only know me and Alex as well from on air, right? I mean, you can listen to me 3 hours a day on air every day, but that's me. I mean, you look at me on air and that's kind of how you see me. And the truth is, Alex and I are both really different people off air, I would say. Not just different from one another, but different from what you might see on air. Like there's been some times where I've ran into liberal women in some of these videos, and they're attractive girls. I think objectively people would say, yeah, that's an attractive girl. But then as soon as they open their mouth, it's over. You can't. It's like forget about it. It's
Not
over.
at all. You don't have a favorite weapon
That's classified information, Kristi.
besides. So it is your beer product is your weapon.
I'm carrying, I may be concealed carrying in the beard right now. Just everything, my whole worldview, my whole perspective, my whole approach to media, everything changed in that moment. I knew eventually I'd become extremely censored if I got to do what I wanted to do. And I knew the only place where I could do what I wanted to do and still have a platform would be Infowars. And so it all played out exactly how I expected it, exactly how God intended it. So I don't see myself doing anything else. And I think too, it's once you've decided to engage at this level and you understand the stakes, if you're a true believer, there's really no going back.
Because of your position, and it's funny because John and I, my husband, have talked about this a lot. We joke around about how Project Veritas and like James O'Keefe became this whole like, well, we I don't know if this is appropriate. They'll bleep me out later if if it's not. But we'll be like, oh, they're honey dicking again. So, but I feel like you also have to worry about that from the other side with your position and you being a bachelor. Are you suspicious of attractive women that come and try and get in your circle? And I mean, because these people will do anything to bring you down, right?
Well, I will tell you that I've had a couple attempts at that, 100% affirmed, a couple attempts that I know of. The truth is, I don't get out too much. I'm extremely protective of myself. I kind of live as a bit of a shell, as a recluse. There's places I go, and there's people I know. It's not like I don't have a social life. I got a lot of friends here, but I don't really even put myself in a position to have that happen. So
To be
it's
honeypotted.
I'm too smart to be honeypotted. I think they
Let's see
figured
it.
that out
Don't
with
you
the first
honeypot
couple.
me.
Yeah.
But you do eventually want to settle down.
Yes, I would. I'd like to have a family someday, very soon.
Awesome. All right. And then you did touch upon your faith. What is your history with this being like I guess as your awareness of what was really going on, as you have learned more, has your acknowledgement of the spiritual battle become stronger and your faith become stronger, or where is that? And what's your history with faith?
I was raised Christian, Catholic, baptized and confirmed into the Catholic Church. My family eventually started going to a non-denominational Christian church. I was born again, and I went through that. I attended that through high school. Once I got to college, I'd say I went through a phase of atheism to nihilism to agnostic, which I probably was even maybe until like 2016 when I got to Infowars. I might even have considered myself agnostic. But the truth is, I've really come to understand the divine creation that we're living in. I've really come to understand good and evil and demons and angels. And it's just undeniable. I mean, to me at this point, it's undeniable. We're living in a divine creation by God, the creator. 100% there's a battle of good and evil happening, that we can't see, but we can in some dimensions. And it's just 100%. And whether or not you believe in an afterlife, because I don't really like to get too religious. I don't like to people to look to me as a religious leader. I don't try to be anything like that. I am Christian. I do have a Christian faith. I do pray to God. I believe in creation, but that's not really the direction I go. I think there's good people from all religions, and that doesn't necessarily mean you're going to hell. And I don't like to get into it because I think a large portion of my Christian base might disagree with some of the things that I think and say. So I don't really like to go down that road. But to me, it's undeniable that we're living in a divine creation. But even if you don't believe in the afterlife, I would imagine that we're designed and such, and we do know that this happens when you die. Your brain basically releases all. I mean, we refer to it as DMT, and so that's like that can be an eternity. You might die, and even just 30 seconds of you being dead could be an eternity to you. And all those memories, are you going to have good memories? Were you a good person? Did you help people? Did you hurt people? All of that is going to be what you're living with in eternity. You're going to be stuck in that mind, and 30 seconds is going to feel like an eternity. And if you were a good person, that's going to be like hell for you. Or if you're a bad person, that's going to be like hell for you. If you're a good person, it's going to be like heaven. Like I imagine if you die and you're on your deathbed and you're surrounded by your loved ones, you're going to heaven. Like that's it. That's your entryway to heaven. You were a good person, and you're going to be rewarded with that experience. So I don't like to get too into the religious stuff. I think it's fair to question. I think it's fair to have your own beliefs. But to me, to deny creation and to deny God is just, I can't believe how it ever happened. But I see, I went to the university, I dealt with the indoctrination. And when you know you're living in an evil world, but you don't see anything going on about it, you're like, oh, I guess there really is no God, right? It's all evil. But then you realize, no, it's a battle of good and evil. You have to choose what you're going to be.
So what would you say is the thing that you've learned most from Alex? And then one more question, then we can wrap up.
Thing that I've learned the most from Alex, boy, that's tough. It's hard to even explain. I think I would say just because how do I say this? Just because the media has an expectation or the media has an approach, it's kind of like political correctness in media. F that, F that. Like, you know what I mean? Like, no decorum. Like, no, 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 no. We're not being held to standards by the liars in the corrupt corporate media. We don't adhere to their standards. We disrupt their standards. But I don't even know if that's to say that's a good thing that I've learned or something I've learned. That's the that's the approach. You decide for yourself if you think that's a good thing that I've been taught and learned.
Okay. And then finally, you always hear this whole saying, Alex Jones was right. So, what about your prediction? What do you see for the future moving forward, or what are you hoping for, whether it be on a large scale or for yourself?
It's probably gonna get worse. We're gonna see more political persecution, arrests, hopefully not myself, but I do see it getting worse before 2024. And my heart tells me Donald Trump wins in 2024. My head tells me he loses because I don't see anybody doing anything about what's going to happen in Philadelphia and
Yeah.
Detroit and Milwaukee and Atlanta and Phoenix at 3 a.m. if the Democrats are behind.
Do you have a backup plan, or are you just as headstrong that you're just going to fight to the very end?
I don't know what else I would do. I don't know. I don't see myself doing anything else. Even if I tried to get away, I'd end up right back here. In fact, I already kind of tried to do that actually. Back in like 2015, I kind of was like, you know what, maybe I don't want to do this. And within a year, I was right back doing it. So I don't see myself doing anything else. And I think too, it's once you've decided to engage at this level and you understand the stakes, if you're a true believer, there's really no going back.